Alright, what's going on everyone? Welcome back to the channel, Connor on Chain. I want to cover a few things today, including a lot of majors because we are seeing pumps across the board with major coins, as in some of the top 10, 20, 30 coins in the market at the moment. Then I want to cover some meme coins and AI agents, all within this video, so let's dive in. I'm not going to cover Bitcoin, ETH, to an extent, but so Bitcoin here, I assume it's going to follow this parabola. This wick is looking really good on the daily. It's about to close pretty soon. I think if we can see more strength with this, I think it can break through this. And it's going to face this 100K resistance, which is a very, very strong resistance. Lots of sell pressure is going to be there. But we're going to see, over the next day, a couple of days, what happens here. But overall, Bitcoin is still looking very bullish here for, in the short term for this move. So we have seen XRP. XRP has gone on an absolute tear over the last basically week now. You can't, the strength is undeniable. Personally, I think if you're looking into XRP, you want to buy it right now. You should not be jumping into it. You are basically exit liquidity if you are buying the top of a candle here when this coin is sitting over $100 billion in market cap. To me, that's a clear indicator that I've ever seen a coin that was already so massive in market cap able to pull these kind of moves. I think once this capital really starts flowing into lower cap stuff, we are going to see even more significant pumps across the board. Another one too is Sui. Sui's strength has been literally undeniable here too. I think this is a very strong, I was going to say low cap, but this is a high cap as well. But obviously it is, a 10th, 20th the size of, XRP, not even close to ETH, right? Lower cap, newer, layer 1. I think this is only going to continue. Maybe short term, yes, we probably will see another pullback. But I think Sui's, just trajectory overall is going to be very much so bullish as fuck over the next, I don't know, couple months here going forward, probably even further than that. So majors have been looking very good lately. And like I was saying, I think that is going to be very good for altcoins that are lower in market cap once capital starts to flow. So, as you guys have seen, or if you have not, I've been a huge advocate of this coin called Virtual Protocol. This thing has gone on an absolute tear, and the agents. So what it is it's basically an AI agent builder, almost like a pump fund platform for AI agents, but they focus on a lot of that infrastructure, and they have a lot of AI agents within their ecosystem now that have gone on to do crazy moves, very much so strong numbers in market cap. And I actually don't think this is going to stop anytime soon. A major reason why it's been so successful is because if you want to buy any of these agents that have been getting a ton of traction, you actually need to buy into the Virtuals protocol, and it almost acts like a layer 3. I think this is just an incredible protocol that was built, and it fits the AI agent narrative, which is why it's one of the key players right now within this narrative of AI. So I want to cover a few agents that I think are, kind of just blue chips right now that you should be paying attention to, and, potentially waiting for more major dips to jump in. But AI agents within this eco that I think have a ton of upside. And then at the end, we'll get into meme coins here, but first is first, I want to cover, we got Luna, AI XBT, I think are some of the top AI agents within this ecosystem at the moment. So Luna here, sitting at 70 million in market cap. This is one of the first and strongest agents within the ecosystem. And it's still pretty low in market cap in comparison to where, I actually can see this going long term. Because, we see a lot of different AI meme coins, which I kind of group these separately than AI meme coins because a lot of these agents have real, actual, people. They have real teams behind them. It's real infrastructure that is built beneath a lot of these agents versus a lot of these AI meme coins that I've seen that, it's a lot of them are it's almost like they're tribute tokens to certain things, or kind of built operate in a different way. Even though, they still are pretty bullish, they're going to have a lot of upside. I just think agents with real infrastructure behind them are going to be some of the top performers. Excuse me. But Luna is definitely number one. I'm sorry, maybe not number one, but definitely one of the blue chip AI agents within this eco. We've seen AI XBT as well. This has been killing it, doing very well. This is literally not even pulled back. So to actually enter this, I would be very hesitant. And in my last videos, I literally thought this was topped out when it hit 5-6 million. Obviously, it was completely wrong. This thing just does not stop. This is one of their liquidity pools, but this chart literally from when it launched, just up only. Like, literally does not stop. Literally almost at 300 million in market cap. Basically at all-time high right now. This is a top AI agent without a doubt in my mind. It actually has a ton of mind share on Twitter now too, which is a big thing, a big factor in why a lot of these agents are going to succeed. So another one too is we got if I can type today, Sequoia. So Sequoia is yet another AI agent sitting at 30 million. It's kind of just like a AI investment firm, if you want to call it. It's an investment agent specializing in identifying and nurturing emerging AI talent. This one is just the same thing. Since down here when it was kind of flat for a while, huge run, pullback, and it looks like it doesn't stop. And I drew this because for me, I'm actually fairly hesitant to enter into some of these coins at current levels. The main reason being is a lot of these agents are incredibly volatile. And when I say incredibly volatile, I mean probably more volatile than a lot of, meme coins. And if you're familiar with meme coins, you know that those are way more way more volatile than a lot of regular altcoins, right? A lot of utility coins. Because these literally can pull back 30 to 50% in a matter of hours. And if you're just buying the top because you want to see it go up, you got to be very cautious and comfortable if you're doing that with seeing everything you just put into a coin literally dump 60% within 2 hours, worst case, right? I just think it's very high risk unless you get a very good bottomed out entry or you're just buying on a heavy dip. But Sequoia, in my opinion, is definitely a pretty much blue chip as of right now. Another blue chip is actually Vader AI, or the ticker is Vader. This one's sitting at 50 million now. And when I say volatile, again, up 78% already. Yet literally yesterday, last night, this was at 25 million. These are volatile as fuck. I mean, you can see whales are just non-stop accumulating and buying. As they see the value in this, right? Vader, same thing though. It's gonna be very similar to Sequoia, but they also have their agent is pretty informational too on Twitter, but very bullish here as well. Another one too is actually called Game. This is like a key infrastructure within the Virtuals ecosystem, and it's a token itself as well. If it loads. But super interesting here. I mean, this is sitting at 50 million as well. So, from my perspective, I always like to focus on coins that are, obviously under 1 million in market cap to a couple million. So this one is definitely not within that range, obviously, but, this is definitely coming up. And same thing. I drew this here because, again, for me, I would like to see some sort of heavy pullback before I'd actually jump into something. This is kind of something I just put in the Discord, waiting if an entry would have, shown itself with this one over the last few days or even a week, whatever. Even though right now it's pumping, it's not doing that. This probably would have been a potential zone to enter, which would be like 20 million or lower, and just accumulate and wait for the next leg up. But of course, like I said earlier, virtual has been pumping yet again. It's up 30% today. So usually when virtual is up like crazy, these continue to run like crazy. But these are a lot of blue chips. I would show you guys a ton of low caps, but honestly, this ecosystem is it's still so new, so high risk. I'll show you guys like, trying to think if there's any others. There is one more too that is very low in market cap right now. This one is Velvet Unicorn. This one, in my opinion, should be valued a lot higher than it is, but I think the team or whoever's behind it, they really have not delivered too much at the moment. But this one overall, I think, is pretty strong for what it is. I think the mind share within this virtuals eco is pretty prominent. A lot of people are familiar with this one already. But same thing, this actually looks like a beautiful entry for it. But again, I'd be cautious with these, of course, worst case. But like I said, you should not be entering if you see a coin heavy in the green, you should not be buying into a pump. Wait for a heavy dump because of how volatile these are. But again, I think within this ecosystem, I think the growth potential is it's almost uncapped. I mean, the fact that we saw AIXBT within 1 month go from a few hundred K in market cap to 300 million, I think if you can find a really good agent that is doing something new, the potential is actually crazy. They're in the Discord, we're watching at least 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different agents. Past week called a bunch of different ones that have done very well. But there's agents now that are doing everything from automated smart contracts to just like something like Velvet Unicorn or Sequoia. You have AI agents that their goal is to invest in other meme coins almost autonomously without human intervention. And they have their own wallets and stuff like that. Similar to, I think, what GOAT, the biggest AI meme coin did, right? But there's so much potential use case within these agents, and that's where all the speculation lies. And that's why I think these have been pumping so hard over the last month so far. So I don't think they're going to stop here either. There we go. But with that being said, let's go over to some meme coins because a big thing with memes that I've noticed as well, which I'm pretty sure most people have noticed as well, is that once we start to see AI run, when we see RWA, basically utility coins getting a ton of traction starting to move, it seems like we're actually seeing meme coins do the complete opposite, and they start dumping and they go down very, very hard. And if you guys have seen my channel, I'm a huge advocate of culture coins, just literal meme coins that are just more than memes, even though obviously some meme coins I talk about are there's not too much to them, but something like MOG here, MOG is the #1 culture coin within crypto. I still firmly believe that, and we actually just had Coinbase added MOG to the roadmap, and I think one of the biggest things with it too is MOG has been listed on Base now for a while, and I have a feeling that definitely contributed to MOG actually being listed. So what that means is MOG is going to be listed on Coinbase at some point very soon. And I think MOG too, with its unit bias, is going to be very huge for a lot of retail participants, that are only familiar with Coinbase. They're going to be wanting to ape into MOG. So I still think it is fairly early for this coin. Obviously, I usually would never be one to say that. At $1 billion in market cap, you're early to something. I feel like, excuse me, a lot of the times I feel like I'm late to a coin at 600K, because I missed an entry at 200K. But, MOG has been one of my highest conviction coins. this entire cycle, and I don't think it's going to stop. I think multiple billions is very much so in the card for this, and I think Binance as well. It's been listed on Binance futures, which should be some sort of signal that I think Binance will list MOG as well in the future. So this is going to be very easy to attain from basically anyone within and not in the crypto space. So I'm probably more bullish than ever on MOG, especially holding up very well too, while a lot of memes are down. Even some of our, in the Discord, we have a few high conviction plays. We also got some low caps, which I'm going to bring up a couple here. But Yakub is a meme coin that I'm pretty bullish on right now too. This has had a huge dump. Like, this is what I mean though. A lot of Solana meme coins across the board, have dumped significantly. They are down, some maybe 30%, some others down 70, 75, 80% from their highs. To me, I know for a fact that a lot of these are probably somewhat bottomed. Maybe not completely, but they should be bottomed out fairly soon. I'm still going to be buying and holding a lot of these coins. So I firmly believe that memes will continue to make a killing over the rest of the cycle. But like I said earlier, it may be something to do with timing. You got to be paying attention. Maybe when utility is really flying to either, pull out of meme coins or, just make sure you have capital within both memes and also utility, because you want to be able to take advantage of pumps across the board. With whatever sector is pumping, whatever's hot, you want to have assets within each of these narratives. That's why I still think cult meme coins, are of course high risk, very high risk, but a great place to park certain amount of capital for long-term bets. So, this is Yakub, like I said, sitting at literally 3.5 million. This one just long-term, easily can go well past its all-time high again at some point. 20-30 million I think could happen, but it's just going to be a patience game for most meme coins, again, just across the board. But for this video, I think that's going to be it for right now. I do want to make some videos. I have videos coming over the next day, couple days, going fairly in depth of some real strong long-term utility coins that have yet to fully take off. So be on the lookout for some of those, because I've definitely been slacking on videos when we're kind of deep in a bull run right now. Definitely want to be just providing alpha to YouTube and not just Discord, as often as I can. So that's going to be something I focus on from now going forward over the next few months, because this is the time to take advantage, guys. Should be buying heavy on dips and just being patient, whether it's meme coins, AI, even RWA, gaming right now too, I think is starting to finally, I don't want to say pick up, but I think people are starting to reallocate into gaming, almost preparing for a gaming pump. Some gaming coins have already started to move, but there are many that are still bottomed out, many that are still accumulating. So the same thing. It's just it's time to be allocated across the board in different narratives, and I'm going to show you guys the best of my ability, which coins to be looking at. So outside of that, I appreciate you guys watching, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks.